Okay. Let's see about all this. That looks good. Mic audio's going. It's Friday, everybody. It's a featured arena Friday at that. Let's make sure all the bells and whistles are good and going, and then let's dive right into it. I think it's good. Just gotta wait for YouTube do its YouTube thing. Yep, looks good. Awesome. Let's do it. How's it going, everybody? It's Friday. Hope your week has gone well. Hope your day is going pretty well too. I'm Rob vonShoe. I'm grinding for a 6-star version of Mr. Negative. In arenas, I am currently sitting at about 40 million here. My goal is about 100, give or take. And we'll see how that goes. Cheers, all. Not tonight. Good Lord, that'd be ridiculous. But overall, by the time the arena ends in another day and a half, that's where I'm hoping to land. And going for the 6-star featured, hope to get the top 100 spot. I'm just putting up points in arena tonight, so cheers. Good to have you. And let's get going, shall we? I want to say big howdy, big welcome to Kim, PB, Judah, and Fried Nuggets. Fried Nuggets also pointing out that pulled an amazing 6-star CGR, which was posted in the Rob Von server, the official Discord of the channel. Congrats again, my friend. Congrats again. How's your day? Also took my first rank 5-star Colossus. Hey. Very nice. Very nice. It's doing pretty good. A little bit busy. Not gonna lie. But it's going pretty good. Certainly cannot complain at all. But I've just been grinding arena. A little this, a little that. At the same time, too, I'm just, let's see, throwing something up on Twitter. And going from there. Let's say something along the lines of the question of the evening over here. What should the shorthand be for Mr. Negative? MN? Or Nega Man? Not Mega Man, but Nega Man. That's my personal preference. But what do you guys like? What are you going to call him for the shorthand, just to keep things simple, just because Mr. Negative is just too many syllables. What should the shorthand for Mr. Negative be? MN? Mega Man? Something else? At Marvel Champions. With a link with a picture, if the picture wants to wind up loading, that would be useful. Boop. Awesome. All right, there we go. Pick up the phone here. Did not squawk at me. That's very cool. Hey, Virendra. Good to see you, bud. Long time no see. How's it going? Was stuck on 622 Sinister for Eternity. Got 6-star Angela this week. Just soloed him using Sinister. Nice. New achievement unlocked. Using Sentinel. Okay, I was going to say that's an interesting matchup. Nice. Congrats on finally getting through the roadblock there. Mr. Negi. Let's call him Maneg. Maybe. Like Mulady. Negative. Mr. Badman. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Because, like, the dude's been around in-game for almost a month now, and we haven't, like, collectively as a what, player base, come up with a shorthand, even though we come up with shorthands for everybody. So that's the goal of tonight. I mean, in addition to just putting up a whole heap ton of arena points, but we can come to some consensus. Just for kicks. Well, say howdy to Sergio saying, hey, dude. What up, Sergio? Welcome. Happy Friday. And B-More says, hey, Rob. Hey, chat. Mr. A Positive. That works. Mr. Anti-Positive. We got choices, guys. We got choices. Doink. Yoink. So the question then for you guys is, how are you guys all doing? How's the week been? Hope you all have been doing well. Hey, what's up all? Says Jacob. Howdy, Jacob. Alright, so we got a bunch of the 5 stars off cooldown. The 6 stars I should probably do first, just because they got the longer cooldown. And roll with that. I was on Lefty's chat, and when I told him I got CGR, he was so happy for me. You should see my reaction. I screamed. I believe it. I absolutely believe it. It's so unreal, you know? It's such a an account-defining pull. Good on you, bud. Good on you. Now it's just a matter of learning all, like, 72 of his rotations. But that's the fun part. And then how quickly you can lay waste to poor Realm of Legends Winter Soldier. Mr. Punching Bag Man. It was such a game changer. My account felt different. Never going to look at it quite the same way again. Oh, getting torched right there. Question then is, how far are you going to be able to rank them up right now in the short term? Take them up to rank 2, rank 3, and just go ham. Boink. You got options. You got options. And then, plus, it'll be really nice, too, if you have a Night Thrasher on your squad. Because Night Thrasher winds up giving Space Ghost longer armor break durations, which is super useful. If you got them. Who should I rank 3? Magneto or Omega? Both Sig 20. Do you have either one of them as 5 stars ranked up? Like, offhand, I would probably say Magneto, just because Omega really, like, benefits a lot more from a higher Sig. So if you had a 565 Sig 200 Omega Red and then a 6-star rank 3 Magneto, that would be a really nice combo. You can't go wrong either which way, but probably Magneto is my guess, or my 2 cents. Hey, hello, Shoe Master, says Quinn. Welcome, Quinn. Howdy, howdy. How are you doing? How's it all going? So, depending on how quickly I'm able to get through some of these rounds or whatnot, I may just duck into the junior account, because with that compensation email that went out yesterday for all the different like in-game shenanigans that have been going on, everyone wound up getting a 4-star Nexus crystal, including the baby account that was not affected by any of the any of the issues. But I got a 4-star Nexus to open up, and that could potentially be so huge for the baby account. So depending on what time it is, and then again, like I said, how long it takes to get through some of these rounds, that would be a fun way to cap things off a little bit later on. Judah just duped 6-star Archangel. That is so unbelievably lucky. Good on you. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty jealous. I am pretty jealous. I hope to pull one eventually, but that is so cool. That is so cool. Congrats. Got a red mags, and I was wondering, does that man need to be duped? No. It's a nice to have, but no, he doesn't need to be duped. Like, if you got one that's just unawakened, he can still do most of, like, 90% of his kit unawakened. Awakened is just nice, because it gives him a bit of survivability and being able to tank basic hits, which is really nice. And then heavy attacks deal some energy damage. Additional energy damage when he's awakened. But it's not a deal breaker. Do that, let's do that, and do that. Got the mags from the Nexus. Oh, for 772? I'm hoping that when I finally do 7-2, that the crystal odds go my way. Because it went pretty well last time for 7-1. 7-1 out after that whole snafu debacle. Wound up pulling White Widow for the first time. And I was really happy about that, because she's a fantastic, fun champion to play. Let's see if lightning strikes twice, though. And Pogo got 2 hundos in 2 days, a Teddy Ursa and a Medicham. Lucky. From raids or just in the wild? I have not been having great luck at all this last events or two. Haven't pulled a hundo in a good while. Haven't pulled a crit fail either. Because for me, I collect both the hundos and then the crit fails. Just for like both ends of the spectrum. But then even like shiny luck has been awful too. But that's awesome. Congrats on the your double hundos. And Rudring says, "Ayo, Nega Man stream." Heck yeah. You know it, bud. You know it. We are going for this guy. And hoping for the best. It remains to be seen if I do wind up getting the 6-star featured. I'm going to wind up getting one of them, whether it's the 5-star or the 6-star featured. But it remains to be seen if I'd be doing a second arena to wake him up. Either which way. Because on one hand, his awakened ability is a really solid nice to have for some extra bonus damage. But on the same side too, I'm assuming and speculating that the next arena is going to be the rework arena. So War Machine, Ebony Maw, and and Ultron. And I need me a War Machine. I mean, it's the first time. The 5-star version is going to be obtainable through arenas, and then of course the 6-star version as well. But I suppose it really is going to depend what the basic is. There's just so much arena going on. It's so cool. This level up, I rank 5 Space Ghost, rank 4 Hood and Blade, and next level up, I'm ranking 5 my Mole Man. Mole God. Mole God. Solid progress. I'm gonna go play with CGR now. Yes. Yes, you should. There we go. Finally, last week, I'm making progress on MCOC. Earlier this week, I got Aegon out of Crystal, and the hand-to-hand combat Crystal, and just yesterday, I got Mags out of the free 4-star Nexus. Realm Beware. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't even need to invest heavily in that 4-star Magneto. I'm fairly certain that just fresh out of the box, like rank 1, level 1, that 4-star should be able to handle Realm Wolverine just by himself. Because just for kicks, when I did it on the side account, I was able to get him down with a max 2-star Magneto. So a 4-star should be able to handle that quite nicely. Teddy Urso was a Purify from Rocket Grunt, and the Metacham was from a 2K Egg. Nice. You know, funnily enough, I don't think I've kept any of my Purifies. I think I purify them, and then it's like, cool, to the candy bin for you. Like, I'm sure that at some point there's going to be someone who actually benefits from being purified, but I don't think so. Not that I've seen yet. That, like, the purified version of somebody is, like, the meta go-to version of whoever it is. I always figured it'd be somebody like Snorlax or Blissey or somebody that could benefit from that the most, but haven't seen it yet. What do you think of the new champs? I very much like them. I enjoy their design. I'm not so big on my bro. Kit looks interesting, but Purgatory I'm absolutely sold on. Absolutely sold on. Of course, everything just remains to be seen, like how they actually feel when you play them. Like if their combos are easy to chain together, and then just how their kit winds up functioning in the real world. So, you know, we'll have to see about that later on, but yeah, as far as just like reveals go, I'm all about it. I don't buy in at all to some of the blowback that new champions, like new as in like original champions, get. So long as the character is fun and their kit is fun, I don't care who it's tied to. So it could be, you know, either someone who's tried and true and been around for the last 50 years, or someone who's brand spanking new. I'm all about it. Oh, absolutely, PP. I am 100% trying to make that a thing. It's not Maestro. It's my bro. It's the college frat version. So excited. I just found out earlier today that someone canceled on a new construction, and we have the opportunity to move in next month since the house is finished already. Also, good luck on the grind. Solid. Very lucky, Black Knight. Very fortunate. That's actually really cool. That's really, really cool. Then plus, I mean, as the first-time owner, you get to really put your, you know, your guys' personal stamp on there. Gunji says, please read last. You got it. Give me just a second. Let me scroll back up there. Make sure She-Hulk's down first, though. Where was your last, bud? Yeah, it wasn't showing up. On my side, the first one was you saying read last. Unless I missed it. Yeah. Many people are confused about this Maestro version, but it looks to be modeled after him in the most recent comics run. I'll send a picture of that in Discord. Yeah, cheers. I mean, they were very clear that it's like an alternate reality version of him. So, I mean, it stands to reason that the alternate reality version would potentially be a bit divergent. Yeah, Gunju, still, I got nothing. I'm checking by Quinn's. Strange Raven stopping in. How's it going, Raven? Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. Pleasure to see you. I'm now done with Arena for the week. Just a few rounds and Summoner Trials tomorrow, and that's it. I am envious. I've got a little bit further to go myself. But congrats on being done and getting the milestones for the extra loot. I'm now done with Arena for the. Oh no, I conflated them. I'm sorry, Raven. Toy Shadow's done with Arena. I'm sorry. Raven says, I'm saving for Purgatory. I know that there's more hype for Chad Maestro, but she's just too cool. I mean, hopefully that there is more hype for the Chad. Because, I mean, that means that, you know, Purgatory might go a little bit lower, and I am all about that. Her synergies seem fun. Her kit seems fun. The design is stellar. Yeah, let's do it. I think it's interesting, though, that they revealed that she's going to be this month's champ now, having just gotten off of that Gilly Ant-Man buff poll from, what was it, last week. Because, I mean, I think if people knew that there was going to be a heavy Gilly synergy champ coming out this next month, then maybe Gilly would have gotten some extra love for the buff poll. Hey, Billy says, guess who? Who, Billy? Who are we talking about? What's up, bud? My Alliance is jealous I got Space Ghost, but they've got Doom and Chamos? Well, so you get to wear that around as a badge of honor for a good bit. Just watch out if they try and steal him for Alliance War defense. What do you think Gambit's going to go for? That's a good question. Wonder if Kabam thinking about expanding the 6-star pool for the arena, making both 6-star arenas top 150. I hope so. I doubt it, but I hope so. But as far as like Gambit's cutoff, I still think he's probably going to be around that 67 mil, 60, 70 mil, kind of like how Stealthy was. Stealthy's got prestige, but then so does Gambit at a low sig. Like Gambit sig 20 is like some of the highest amongst the other 6-star sig 20s. Plus, as a horseman, he's got a whole newfound sense of utility too. So I think he's still going to go pretty hefty, just not like 100 mil territory like I-Bomb or Shang-Chi. Yeah, I still got nothing, Gunju. I still got nothing. Hey, what up, CT? Clobbering time stopping in saying Robert Schubert, Esquire. That's me. I moonlight as a lawyer during the day and punch dudes in the face for fun online at night. It's my secret identity. How's it going though, CT? Happy Friday. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the big grind. It's great, says Raven, because I've got a rank 4, 5-star Morningstar, 6-star Gilly, and the 2099 version. So I am ready. Yes. Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun. I'm really happy to see that they're continuing to flesh out the lore of their custom character. Because that's really what they need to keep doing if they really want her to like break into the mainstream of Marvel and Marvel stories, kind of in the same way that a Civil Warrior has. I'd say Civil Warrior so far is probably the most successful new character out of the game. Venompool is probably up there too, but I think they probably need. I would like to see more Aegon love. I'd like to see more Morningstar love and some Gilly and Gilly 99 love too. But it's a start. You gotta start somewhere. Oh, there we go, Gunju. Yeah, I can check out a couple. Just post a link on the Discord. I think that might be why that it's not coming through if you're trying to post a link to something. But yeah, I'll check it out. Congrats on starting to post videos and have fun. Still no love for Sentry. Nope. Not yet. I do think it was like a Freudian slip, say, for the, was it the Vulture synergy? Right, where they were alluding to that there's going to wind up being a Sentry buff at some point. But I think Sentry got yoinked this month in favor of Ebony Maw. So hopefully next month. That dude needs some solid DLC. Hope you're alright. Alright. Got a question. Gilly 2099 is Morningstar? Yes. So like after Morningstar is redeemed, basically, then she gets put into the robot body as Gilly 2099. So she's basically like the exact opposite of Purgatory. Like the Sentry Void kind of deal. Where it's the same character, but just polar opposites. Like one's heroic, the other's evil. Or the Magneti. Got a question. Oh, got that. It kind of hurts putting 100 million points in and still missing the champion. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I have seen some of those cutoffs. I mean, that's true of anybody, regardless if it's the featured 6-star, featured 5-star, to just come so far and then miss. That's why I really gotta just keep rolling with the grind here. Try and stay on top of teams as they come off a cooldown and go from there. Hope for the best. The overrepresentation of lawyers as secret identities in comics, same with journalists. Where's the plumber superhero? Oh, they all got sucked away into the Mushroom Kingdom. They kind of got the monopoly over there. They're like, yo, you guys can have New York, you guys can have Los Angeles. We're just gonna warp on out of here. Go save some princesses in other castles. Aegon has no canonical comic appearance. It's very strange. Because he'd be fun, and then especially if nothing else, just because his design is so cool. I will give that to Kabam for their custom characters here. Like, the designs have far and away been spot on. I'd almost say that I think maybe Gilly 99 or Gilly, OG Gilly here, has probably the most vanilla of the designs. But everybody else is pretty solid. It'd be hard to say which one's my favorite. We need some serious power for the Black Order, though. Well, we'll have to see. I mean, at the same time, though, too, it's kind of tough to give those guys new synergy because most everybody in the Black Order is really good. I mean, Corvus is Corvus, right? Proxima, I suppose. But Cull, once he's ramped up, he's an absolute tank, too. I mean, really, the one who needs the buff the most is Thanos. Because not only does the dude have an extremely vanilla kit, but he's also kind of a squishy noodle. So, I mean, hopefully, right? Synergy with the Morningstar and the two Gillies better be good. Knock on wood. 100 million is achievable with whale rosters without refreshing. I have seen that. I think the most that I'm able to do with mine, with no refreshes, doing 5 and 6 stars constantly, I think is somewhere in the 80 million range. Which is good. But, I mean, the hardest part of arena grinds at this point is the time. Because in order to get that, especially pushing forward into like the 100, 120 mil range, like you really got to do nothing else for days. So if you want to have like any sort of semblance of a social life, or if you got friends or family that you like visiting with regularly, that's tough. We'll get New Donk City. Y'all can take New York. So, confession time. I have still not yet played Mario Odyssey. Game's like, what, 2 years old now? Maybe pushing 3. Still haven't played it. It is a Mario classic, no doubt. I've heard fantastic things about it, absolutely, and I want to play it. I just haven't yet. But I know enough about it to understand that reference. I just also think it's a really funny name for a city. New Donk. Rob, did you watch Jupiter's Legacy? I haven't. I saw it being advertised as either something that was coming out soon or just recently come out, but I haven't seen it yet. Have you? Is it good? Because, I mean, granted, we've got a few extra hours to kill. Just a few. Throw Gwen up there. Odyssey is awesome. Yep. I've got so many. That's the thing. Like, I'm gonna need to take like a season off or something like that and just play casually, just for fun, just to wind up taking a crack at the rest of my games backlog. Because at this point, there's so many games that I haven't played yet that I want to, But then also at the same time too, there's so many games that I have played but have not played for such a long time that, you know, warrant a second playthrough. Like, I've really had an itch to play BioShock Infinite again, which is such a I remember it being such a fun game with a fun story. I think that game is really solid. I think the most unfortunate thing about that game is that it came out like 5 months before Last of Us, or a couple months before Last of Us. And then that just dominated the conversation, and everything else kind of faded to the sidelines. I don't have a Switch. I gotta buy one, but MCOC eats up all my time. Yup, that is true. That is absolutely true. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think I really need to just go like alliance-less for a while, or like a retirement alliance where there's no pressure for alliance war or AQ or something like that, but still get the benefits. Because it's really the alliance stuff that incentivizes you for picking up the game several times during the day. Like, if I could just, like, some of the other games I play, I can pick up, I can play for 10 minutes, and then I'm like, cool, I'm good on this for today. This game is certainly not like that. For Loki's taking the next season off for backlog reasons. MCOC backlog reasons, not external backlogs. Well, yeah, because, I mean, that's actually cool. Because, I mean, there's 7-2, there's Karina challenges, there's Summer of Pain, and then there's the Gauntlet all coming out pretty quick, too. It'll be fun to see how that plays out. It's nice that there's finally, like, some chunky endgame contents again. But at the same time, too, like, a lot of it incentivizes people for blitzing through it, which I feel is kind of counterproductive, because then those people are going to be like, okay, now what? And then there's not going to be anything for another, 4 months, 5 months, whatever it is. Have you played a Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury? I have not played Bowser's Fury. I played 3D World a little bit, but not Bowser's Fury. Got up to 81.7 million without refreshing, with 87 6 stars and a full 5-star roster. It's impressive. That is impressive. That's enough to take care of most basic 6-star grinds, which is good, really good in and of its own self. It's watchworthy. Kind of leads towards crime and political drama. Talking about Jupiter Ascending. Like the book better, of course, like a true nerd. Josh Duhamel showed some of his acting chops playing the main character. I am all for that. I am all for that. But it's also fun, too, because we're starting to get, and I suppose it's a slight tangent, we're starting to get to a point where shows not only are not as afraid anymore to do their own thing, but then in some cases the shows wind up being better than the books themselves. So it's fun to see that, to take stuff in its own direction and then kind of make it its own too. Speaking of like Umbrella Academy, show is a lot better than the book. And then Invincible is like a, well, it's a very honest adaptation. You know, in contrast to something like Killing Joke from the DCE or DC animated universe. which is just like, what the heck? Why? What did you do? They also kind of borrowed some plot points from a big DC Universe story. See, I'm kind of okay with that too. Again, just if they can make it work. It's the same idea as like Groundhog's Day, right? Like there have been so many different knockoffs on the exact same premise of Groundhog's Day, but some of those films are still fun to watch, just because of what they do with it from there. It's like they have their moment where it's like, okay, haha, we're doing Groundhog's Day, but different. And then everyone's like, oh, okay, but how different? I gotta get that new Masters title, though. I need 2 more Masters finishes. Returning Champion is the title. Yep, you need 5 placements in Masters to get it. I could be persuaded. This season was actually the first season that I've ever finished in Masters. So, I mean, I would need 4 more myself. But I personally have the opinion, if it happens, if we get Masters 4 more times, hey, that's awesome. But I'm weird. I really just dig having Summoner as my title. Like, we got the Elsa Flare for the profile pick, but Summoner kind of just suits me fine for right now. Road Rank says, Ayo, I'm back. Nice. Welcome back. And Mr. Smokes. Hello, Rob. Hello, chat. What up, Mr. Smoke? Pleasure seeing you. How are you? Happy Friday. DC isn't capable of making their own stories, from what we've seen. So may as well. It's a shame it didn't used to be that way. Like, look at the original, like, 90s Batman movies. Mask of the Phantasm was, up until, well, I mean, at the time it was, like, up until Batman Begins, but then especially Dark Knight. Mask of the Phantasm was my favorite Batman movie. Like, they just friggin' nailed it. Heart of Ice was fun, too. Not quite as much fun, but still fun, too. And then Return of the Joker was solid. But, yeah, as far as, like, the animated DC movies, it's... Your mileage may vary. Pull the 6-star Dragon Man. Any tips? Yes. Back the opponent into the corner and profit. That's basically all it is. Is that, I mean, Dragon Man gets really solid, like, power gain by himself. If you get the opponent into the corner, then Dragon Man winds up doing a whole heap ton of extra damage. You throw a special 3, you're unblockable and unstoppable for a little while, plus with extra power gain. So you can either spam a quick special 2 or cycle for another special 3 and just absolutely rinse. Absolutely rinse. Dragon Man is such an amazing champion. Funnily enough, one of Dragon Man's best synergies is Diablo, because it gives him an extra power gain, so he can cycle stuff even faster. Batman Animated was really the peak of DC. Yeah. I would also throw some of JLA in there as well. But yeah, as far as like a standalone show, yeah. I understand why they wound up switching the animation style over. Was it between season 2 and 3? Yeah, I understand it, but still, when they did, it was like, ah. Still feels like a step back. You know, I never got the got into Dark Knight Returns, the animated version. I just could not ever see Michael Emerson as Joker. Like, the rest of the voice cast is fine, but I don't know, just Michael Emerson just did not do it for me as Joker. And then they've got Long Halloween coming out as an R-rated version. Ooh. Let's see how that is. Sweet, thanks. Just had a 4-star, so I didn't really play with him besides Arena. Yeah, no, yeah, you got it, bud. Enjoy. Dragon Man, it was one of my top 3 most fun champions from last year. I've got a 565 version, and then I've got a 6-star duped version that I was chasing for a good long while. That's going to get ranked up as well as soon as I get some, you know, extra catalysts in there. But yeah, dude is just, he's tanky, he's OP, but he's fun to play too, which is just like the perfect trifecta. Excited to see Long Halloween, one of my top 10 favorite Batman stories. Yes. Yeah. Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb. Like, they're doing their own thing animation-wise. Like, some of the other DC, some of the other animated films are trying to do, like, a discounted version of the original art style with varying degrees of success. But it seems like they're really doing their own thing for art for this. It's just like, oh, okay. Sure, I guess. I'm trying to think like which other storylines they haven't quite done yet. I mean, if they really wanted to push like a hard R Batman animated one, they could do Arkham Asylum. That would get them that hard R. If they did it right. Dark Victory was a lot of fun too, but I don't know, because, well, there's crash number 148 minutes into it. But I don't know. It depends on how they want to write or rewrite canon. Like, if they just want to make an animated version of the book, then that's fine. But at the same time too, it's also a retelling of the Dick Grayson origin story. So, and I think they've already done that elsewhere. And like, who was it? And some of the other characters too. But it was a really nice sequel. A really, really nice sequel. With Holiday Killer, I think, right? Oh no, a Hangman was Dark Victory. God, I gotta go back and reread that. It's been well over a year, pushing 2 years since I've read those last. All right, CT, putting you on the spot here. Which is your favorite version of Nightwing? Like, which costume is your favorite? Because, like, Nightwing's gone through, like, 4 or 5 different costume changes in the last decade alone. Which is your favorite? Got a Tales of the Teen Titans 44, signed by Perez in a 9.8. Nice. Bet you got that on display. So here's also the bit of just rants perspective. So I was following along with the main storyline, right, leading up to Batman RAP, and then they kill Batman off, or he disappears, but he's killed off. And then Dick takes the mantle of Batman. He becomes Batman with Damian as Robin, and I was all about that. It felt like such a natural progression of the character. Everything that he had been building up for and working towards, it made sense story-wise. I enjoyed the banter and the camaraderie between Damian and Dick there. Plus, I mean, it really helped that they introduced some really interesting, fun new villains, and the art style was tip-top too. But I mean, because comic books, they're like, yeah, no, actually, Batman's stuck in time, so we're gonna like time heist him back into existence. And then everyone was like, yeah, well, that was cool. And then that was it. But for a while, for a good year and a half, couple years, all about it. Call me a sucker, but the red costume, really, the red costume, the new 52. That's interesting. I would need to really work on it to remove my own bias. Just having been, you know, exposed to 20 years of various blue costumes to appreciate a red costume for what it is. But yeah, cool. Tough call for me. I mean, I think I'm the biggest fan of the Jim Lee version. Black costume with the logo going down the arms. But at the same time, too, I always appreciated that Nightwing ran light. Like, there's a bunch of versions out there where he's all armored up, especially in, like, the Arkham series, right? He's as armored up as Batman. And from a realistic perspective, that makes sense. But just the way that he fights, the way he moves, especially tied with, like, the backstory between all that. Like, having him at, like, what, unencumbered by armor, so he can move. Always made so much sense to me. Controversial take. Damian should have stayed dead. That is controversial. I mean, he was too good of a character to do that. I mean, they brought Elektra back, and Elektra should have stayed dead for the exact same reason. But I would agree, but then add an addendum. Like, if they were gonna keep Damien dead, that's one thing. But I'm of the opinion they should have kept Bruce dead. You know? Like, I know it's not gonna happen because he is Batman, right? And Batman keeps reinventing himself with new artists, new writers every couple of years, but there's no way that a dude that does what he does for as long as he does gets to live a long, healthy, rewarding life. So, I mean, it would make sense at some point somebody gets him, and it just felt like a natural step up. Renette stopping in. Hey, man, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Being almost 2 days into the featured grind here. But, I mean, real life is going pretty well, too. I'm terribly exhausted, so I'm probably going to be power napping here. Let's see, where's Bishop? There we go. Power napping here after the live stream, and then keep rolling with points. But otherwise, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Only DC book in the past 10 years to get like 8 printings, and it drove so many dedicated Batman fans to cancel their pull list when he got resurrected. Yeah. But then again, I think a lot of that feeds into just DC not knowing what in the heck they're doing with their books in the first place. Because New 52 quickly dwindled down to like New, I don't know, 13 and change within the first year or so. And then they were like, yeah, we're just going to like reset and wipe out the entire continuity we just created. So it's hard to get invested in a character or a storyline or a story arc when you just recently have in the back of your head that the entire continuity is just immediately gone. Or like, hey, you know how we said we're just going to be ending all existing storylines and starting off fresh? Well, we're walking that one back. And now we're just going to keep kind of doing whatever we want. Some books are continuing on with like the newest news story arc. Some books are like going back to the old arcs before the resets. So it's like I have no idea what's going on. Spam some Mordo here. Electra's on like what, her 4th life now? At least. Although, and I'm extremely biased and extremely partial, her costume as Daredevil now is pretty dope. Uh-oh. Now, I mean, there's a whole lot of different bells and whistles that go along with that. It's like, okay, she isn't really Daredevil because Daredevil is Daredevil. She's just dressed up like him. But costume looks cool. So I'll say that much. We need some more actual permadeaths in DC. Yup. There was an excellent video. It was a number of years back. But it was like it wasn't a rant, but it was like an in-depth analysis of Death and Return of Superman and its lasting impact on comics, and just how it was, how it kind of wound up breaking comics. Just because now that anything that's done can be undone, that death isn't permanent. and anything at any given point could be walked back, you know, just depending on which writer gets a book for a while. Rebirth was, I'm still salty with what they've done with Tim. They've effectively like retconned Tim out of the Bat family. Like everything that they've done with Tim in the last like decade is just so stupid. It's just so disingenuous and so stupid. They effectively sidelined Tim because they're like, hey, Damien's here now. And instead of like figuring out something relevant with him to do, they're like, we're just going to ignore this guy and focus on this new guy. I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of any of it. I hate the costume. I hate the name. I hate now that he was just never Robin to begin with. It's just such a disappointing letdown from what he was built up to be and what he could have been. Hey, Diane popping in saying, hello, Rob. What up, Diane? Happy Friday. Good to see you. How's the week been? Renette says, I'm doing fine. Just woke up a few minutes earlier. It's good to see you streaming. Hey, perfect. Glad it worked out. Good morning. Is Unawakened 6-star Kingpin worthy of rank 2? Yes. Not rank 3. But yeah, I'd give him rank 2. That being said, I probably wouldn't prioritize an unawakened Kingpin over, say, like an awakened Elsa or awakened Crossbones or somebody else like that. And certainly not your first 6-star rank 2. Uh-oh. But aside from that, yeah, he's really good. Pretty decent prestige, really great utility. And then pair him up with like the hood synergy or something like that. Dude's gonna be just shrugging everything off. Oh, freaking Heimdall. Sergio says, do you have a favorite DC character out of the usual? I'm going to need to think on that one for a sec. Daredevil is my favorite Marvel character. That one's easy. But favorite DC character? That's out of the usual. That's also tough. Because it probably would be Dick Grayson as favorite character, but he's not unusual. That's tough. I don't think I've got a set one favorite. There's a lot of other side characters that I like Guy Gardner's fun. He's always been fun. Some of the various rogues, different versions. That's the other thing though too, because it depends like who writes the character. Depends on how much I like them. Like I really appreciate the post 90s versions of Mr. Freeze. Like what they wound up doing with the character, starting with Batman Animated and then carrying that over into the wider wider universe is really fun as a believable, interesting character. But yeah, I would probably need to think on that for a bit. Really dug the first, well, first basically collection, say, first dozen, 20 issues of Batwoman. The Rucka run. Now, I mean, part of that is entirely the art. Like, I couldn't care. There are times where it's like you just can just take the words away, and I don't care. I'd still just stare at the pages and the composition. Because holy Jesus, that masterful art direction. Story's interesting too. But dang, man, that art. Injustice Harley Quinn, I think. I really dig. A lot of the Injustice characters I actually really like. I really like what they did with the Canary and Green Arrow in Injustice. I really like what they did with, again, Harley in Injustice. But I would be remiss to say if it's like the characters themselves I find so interesting, or just the story that the characters find themselves, you know? We got a skill 6-star rank 1 to 2 gem. Renette, I probably would. But here's what I would suggest with the 1 to 2 gem. It depends on how close you are to a tier 5 CC skill, because that's where the gem really comes in handy. It helps streamline the process to get to that 6-star rank 3, because you don't need to burn as many tier 5 basic, tier 2 alpha, and then most importantly the tier 4 class. You can just use the gem and then save all those materials towards the rank 3. So if you're a good ways off from the whatchamacallit, tier 5 CC skill, then maybe might hold off for a little bit. Kingsman's not bad. You could do a whole lot worse than Kingpin. But at the same time too, it's not a bad idea to just explore some other options too. Or at least wait until he's awakened. If he's awakened, then yeah, just go for it. Go ham. But until then... Can we mod CT? I mean, if CT would like mod, sure. Zap. Poor Tim. We've seen what happens with PO'd Robins before. Yeah. Friggin' Jason. And okay, so I'm also going to say, just from a general lack of ignorance, just because I haven't read Book 2, Dark Knight Returns 2 or 3. Well, I haven't read Dark Knight Returns 2 in a long enough period of time where I may as well need to reread it just to remember everything that goes on. And I have not read Dark Knight Returns 3. But Carrie Kelly was a lot of fun as Robin. What am I doing here? Have I run Bishop? Or is Bishop... No, I have not run Bishop. There he is. Okay. I vote Tim for best Robin. Dick was Tobey Maguire. Jason was Andrew Garfield. Tim is Tom Holland. I respect that. I respect that. I mean, I think that'd be really tough. I think that'd be really tough. Dick, I think, got the better stories. Tim, I think, has the bigger shoes to fill in finding his own way. I mean, this is, back when Tim was still Robin and had a bright future ahead of him. But, yeah, that's tough. I don't have much skill champs. Another option I have for 1 to 2 is Squirrel Girl, but I think Kingpin should be better, right? Oh, yeah, 10 times better. Utility-wise, for sure, at least. Ooh, Daredevil guy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I know it's comics, right? And you can do anything in comics. But I've always had a greater, I suppose, appreciation for some of the street level, I suppose, characters. Daredevil, Batman, Batman I throw in that category. Just because, like, by and large, like the Batman standalone books have a greater root in plausible-ish reality. Like, Batman ain't blasting off into space, usually. I mean, you save that for some of the JLA or Justice League adventures, right? And that's fine as its own thing. But for me, it's more like, hey, let's go get, whichever, criminal underworld, hood is in the crosshairs today. And the villains rogues gallery, by and large, is relatively around there. The same is true with Daredevil, right? I mean, Daredevil's not blasting off into time and space either. But that's fun. That's fun. Who's my dream Bullseye casting? It really depends on if they wind up recasting Daredevil. Really depends. Because, like, if we're going for, like, a strict comic-based version of Bullseye, that would be a different answer than who they had as Bullseye Daredevil Season 3. Because that dude nailed that part for that version of Bullseye. I'm kind of a little apprehensive to see what he would do with the character now that he's, like, full-on crazy mode. If there was a Season 4. But I don't know, it really would just depend. It would just really depend on whoever they've got as Daredevil. Because it really would come down to the chemistry between the two actors. Because it's kind of like Joker in a regard, right? I mean, it depends on, like, what flavor of the Joker you're going for, but then every actor can dig in and find something unique to bring out about the character. It's not just, like, Joe Rando crazy guy. It's like, no, there's a bit of nuance to it. And that could be fun. That could really be fun. I would almost be okay with, like, an unknown. Or someone who hasn't had a whole lot of exposure. So they don't bring any of the, sort of like that the actor baggage into it too. It would be interesting if they did like a Bullseye, like a standalone Bullseye, as opposed to like him working with somebody, working for somebody. Bit. Where he's just like a free agent doing his own thing, his own way. Like in the comics, but so far on film at least, that has not been the case. Yeah, as soon as Williams left the Batwoman series, then that just really hurt. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that, no. It was... No, Williams left, right? Because Rucka left first, and then I think Williams went after. Or maybe mixing the two up. Runan says, I'm not close to forming a skill tier 5 CC, but I think you're right. I should wait and see at least if I get another good skill, or wait till he gets Awakened. I think that's solid. Unless, you know, the resources are burning a hole in your pocket, or you're at risk of, you know, sending some of those precious resources to overflow. Unless you know, you're actually chomping on the bit for Kingpin, it probably wouldn't hurt to just hold off for just a little bit. CT says, check the Twitter. I like to. Ooh, nice. Bring that up here. Is that the original printing of Mr. Zero, or is that one of the reprints? I can't see the small print. Mr. Zero is who Mr. Freeze was originally. Before then, you know, they changed his name to Mr. Freeze. Yeah, but hot dang. Classic Nightwing costume, too. That's really cool. Where did my windows go? There we go. Got Batman 121 slabbed as a 4.5. It's one of my most prized books. It is the original. Nice. I had a reprinting. Actually, it was really fun. It was a gift from one of my buddies. Because Batman, what was it, Batman Forever, and then Batman and Robin later on, they did a reprinting series of Robin, the first appearance of Robin, that one with Mr. Zero, and then I think it was the first appearance of Batgirl. So then he had a couple, and I had the other one. Well, that's really cool. That is really, really cool. If you could, would you rank through your favorite character, even if it's not close to God tier? Yes. Yep. That's why I'm really hoping to get a 5-star Daredevil out of the hand-to-hand crystals. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But if I did get him, he would get my generic Awakening gem, and then I would throw 200 SIGs on him. I wouldn't be able to rank 5 him for a while just because of rank up materials, but I've got enough 5-star gems, or SIG gems laying around to SIG 200 him. And I absolutely would. Because, I mean, you gotta, right? You gotta. Because it's just so much fun being able to play as your favorite character. Again, I mean, like you were saying, I mean, even if they aren't, you know, quote unquote good in this game, they still are your favorite character. Same is true with like Daredevil Netflix. I've got my 5-star, same case. He's 565, Sig 200. And even post buff, because I brought him up right before the buff. Even post buff, I mean, he's got a challenging kit, I'd say, to say the least. But he still is Netflix Daredevil, and that is my favorite piece of superhero content on film. So, I gotta. The Toys R Us reprints, yes. Yeah, he got all 3 in the poly bag. Nice. That's really cool. Man, rip Toys R Us. I think it's really interesting with everything going on with AMC right now and GameStop and with the meme stock and whatnot. If Toys R Us had managed to survive an extra 5-6 years to get to this point, I'm sure Toys R Us would be a meme stock as well. Just with all the debt and baggage that all the various holdings companies threw and heaped on that company that finally wound up doing it in, I'm sure there would have been a bit of a reckoning. Hey, appreciate that, PP. Hey, Reaper stopping in and saying, "What up, Shoe? What up, Reaper? How are you? Welcome to the Comic Talk edition of the Mr. Negative Grind, and I am all about it. I love talking shop." Gunji says, "Because I'm on iPad, I can't seem to get the link for my video to post in the chat." Okay, or at least the name of the channel. Or we could just probably type in Gunju MCOC and see what pops up. Was it Nightwing's first appearance? I thought it was Robin's first appearance. The one where, with the cover with Batman holding up the, not the, whatchamacallit, the canopy, basically, and Robin's jumping through. But I'd tell you, as far as like comics not aging well, first Batgirl appearance, man, you try and like print that book today, you get roasted. Very much a product of its time. Thank goodness they've actually gone and made like Barbara Gordon an interesting character. Reaper finally pulled a 5-star Stark Spidey from a Cav. Nice. You ranking that dude up? I did, Gunju. I misspoke. I'm sorry. All right. Take care, CT. It's been really fun talking shop. Hope to gab more here pretty quick. You enjoy the rest of your night. We'll catch you later, bud. Call Gunju. Just search up Gunju MCOC. Scroll down a bit. Find my channel. Will do. Starkey was my first 5-star on my mini account. And what a 5-star that is. Yeah, he's going to 455 at least when I get the materials. Isn't that the thing? Isn't that such a catch? It's like getting the champion is still, still is far and away the hard part. But It really does suck at the same time, too. You have the champ, but you can't do anything with the champ because you don't have Tier 1 Alpha or Tier 4 Basic. Let alone any of the chunky stuff like the Tier 2A or Tier 5B. Have you noticed that the profile pic of Iron Fist has yellow gloves? Yeah. Which I thought was curious. Because the character model for Iron Fist in this game originally had yellow gloves. And then after like the first year, they changed them to being gloveless. So it's interesting that they base it off of the original character model for some reason. I never knew why they changed it. I mean, does it really matter? Because the costume's gone both ways, I believe. Where he's had gloves and he hasn't. And it's not like the FX that they had made it actually look like his ungloved hand is extra glowy or whatnot. Ouch. Stop it. Do that. Do that. And that's that. They should totally buff him. They should. I mean, now that Shang-Chi is in the game, and especially as good as he is, yeah, Iron Fist should at least be a fraction as good of... a reasonable fraction as good as that. Or at least the play style, you know, where we can do different chi strikes that do different things. And it'd be interesting from a Mystic perspective, introduce some of the Mystic bells and whistles into that play style as opposed to like the skill presets. Hopefully one of these months. So I don't think Iron Fist was... one of the champs for the buff pool, right? Which would be good because that could theoretically mean that he's already on a list someplace to be updated. You know, hope springs eternal, right? Text that, punchy, punchy, punchy. There we go. Actually, I suppose that could be a fun question to pose to you guys out there. What do you guys think about the brand new characters between, is she coming back online? Yep. Awesome. But for between the new characters, between Purgatory and the Overseer, those champions that you are looking forward to seeing more of, or not too terribly excited to have a brand new character in the game, you know, taking the spot of an existing character who's been on the wait list for forever. Gunju says, I like Chad Maestro. It could be fun. I think it could be fun. I'm always good for more science champs, more mystic champs, for sure. Synergies are always what make or break a character for me. So it'd be fun to see who and what they synergize with. At least that's my 2 cents. I always like buffing champions I already have. It's cool to get new characters too, but it's better still to buff characters I've got already. A little bit less of a chase. And there's enough chase in this game as it is already. Sergio says, to be honest, I believe the Overseer might not be as good as it looks, considering that OP comic characters are pretty dull here. That is true. Watch him be some like synergy god or like prestige god or something. Debating if I should take Ultron to 345, Doom to 455, or Starkey to 235 to start leveling him up. I would. Are you talking about a 5-star Ultrons or rank 3? I'm assuming, right? I would take Doom up, personally, of the 3. If you have extra resources, yeah, throw them at Starkey, but yeah, Doom first. Or even if you should take Ebony Maw to 345, play him first. Play him first. Same is true with Ultron. See how the buff champions play, how they feel, and then go from there. Yeah, all 5 stars from what I mentioned. Okay, cool. Then I'd still probably would do Doom. But then, you know, with that extra little special circumstance of just, you know, making sure to play the new characters first. Just because, like with Daredevil, right, a lot of people wound up ranking up their Netflix Daredevils, and then he wound up getting added to the game, and people collectively were like, what is this? What? This isn't a buff. Go. Get some damage going again. Nice. That would have been a solid cosmic fight, getting all those extra buffs on you. Gunju, I'm not going to play it live. Not going to play it live. That opens up too many unfortunate YouTube shenanigan nonsense possibilities. I will be checking it out offline though, and I can just drop you a comment in the video. But I do look forward to checking that out. Just because if I wind up playing somebody else's video, then YouTube could be like, could start opening up possibilities for possible strikes, just depending on if YouTube is in a bad mood or not. I mean, even with your blessing, they reserve the right to just be a pain in everybody's butt. So that... Doom is now 455, unawakened. Nice. Good. Go forth and conquer. And bring Squirrel Girl along with too. She's got an amazing synergy with them. Like I think Reed and Squirrel Girl are probably two of the best Doom synergies. That is very stupid. But I've had friends and I've heard of people who've gotten tagged for less. I mean, I've gotten tagged for less. That's why I call them friggin' damage masteries. Everybody in the game and in the community knows what they're called because we all call them what we call them in the game. But I get on YouTube and say the shorthand, and then YouTube's like wagging its finger at me. And it's all right. So now I gotta call them damage masteries, I guess. Stuff like that. Flies by its own set of rules. Whoop. Ouch. Stop it. Boop. Guess what? My first rank 5 was Cosmic Ghost Rider. Took him up over Ghost because I think CGR is more fun and does a lot more damage in my opinion. A little less squishy too. Congrats on the rank up. Hey, crash number 2. Love it. Yeah, about right on time too. Alright, so, well, come back in and finish this fight. And then, like I was saying at the top of the video, I'm going to switch over to the baby account. Because the baby account has that 4-star Nexus from the compensation from yesterday. I really want to see which 4-star I can add to the baby account. I think that'd be most excellent. So let me go do that. Get that ball rolling. So, first things first. Just gonna turn that off for a sec. And then do this. Do this. And then do this. Do that. This should work. Maybe. Yeah. Awesome. So got a bunch of shards. Got an awakening. No, that's a login gem. Never mind. Get all free loot here. Cool stuff is coming. Cool. Bunch of shards. That's nice. Update. Great. Free crystal. Cool. But here we go with the actual super spicy stuff. I'm gonna save that premium for later, for a different day, for the next live stream probably. Got another daily crystal. That's probably gonna be a 2-star. Yeah. All right, so no, I don't want to get one of those. Who do you guys think is going to pop out of the 4-star Nexus here? I want to see some guesses in chat. Get some imaginary internet points if you get it right.
I like that.
Get a couple things going there. Sergio says, what would you think about a rank 3 Nick Fury unawakened? I would not go for that. I would not go for that. Nick Fury is a good champion. He's a great champion awakened, though, even at Sig 1. But he really needs to get that, Sig 1 awakened ability to give him that second phase, and then that's where he gets most of his damage. So I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. Got 4-star CGR on my mini account from the Nexus. Got the 4-star before a 3-star. That's funny. I lucked out and pulled a 4-star CGR here out of my out of an ultimate. So it was like an 80% chance for a 3-star, and the 4-star I got CGR. Alright, so let's bring this up. I want to see Tigra. That's my guess. But as this is spinning out and making the choices, let's go afterwards. Let's go raid BG. There is a link to BG's stream under hashtag RobVonRaid. Let's go spin this thing out. I do want to thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure getting to hang out with you the last couple hours. If you haven't already, please kindly consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel. All that stuff does help the channel grow, and I do very much appreciate it. I'm going to be back again live Sunday night for the serial stream, but I'm going to be posting a couple of videos before that, especially the results of the grind here. So let's see what we got out of the 4-star. It is Nebula, Spider-Gwen, and yes. Well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. I'll take that. Sweet. Yep. And confirm. That's crazy. Well, there we go, guys. I mean, this account is on freaking fire, and as far as 4-star pulls go. I mean, look at that. Claire, Doc Ock, Space Ghost, and Void now. With Voodoo and Stealthy in the wings. Yeah, loaded. Alright guys, that's going to do me for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I'm going to jump over on BG stream, hang out for a little bit. Hope to see you guys over there. Catch you guys in an upcoming video. Till next time, I'm Rob vonShoe. Take care. Talk soon. Stay safe. Be well all. Bye for now.